So we'll begin with our very last look at the calendar. This is the last day of the semester, not just this class, but any class. We canceled quest number 5 because of all the snow days. Today is our full period review day. Our final exam is coming up on Monday, May the 20th, between 12:30 and 3 p.m. Officially, I think it's 1 to 3, but we'll give you an extra half hour, so come early if you're able to. So 12:30 to 3 right here in this room. Any questions on the schedule? Okay. I'm hesitant to make any guesses about what people need. I just put it there so that people, if you typically leave the test early, then you will likely leave this test early. It is slightly longer, but it's not like twice as long or anything like that. Yeah. That's Monday. Okay. Okay, so let's take a quick look at page 93. So on page 93, it just talks about some things to know about the final exam. Okay, so final exam is coming up. We just looked at the calendar to decide when and where. It covers these major topics: linear and quadratic equations, exponents and roots, that's kind of one topic, and then fractional expressions. So those were our 3 main topics. They're broken down a little bit more here: linear equations, quadratic equations, exponents, roots, and then fractional expressions. I don't think we need to read these things to each other, but if you're just looking for one page where it lists all the major topics of the course, it's here. Okay, so you can kind of use this as you're studying for Monday's final. In terms of resources, heading into Monday's final, let's just take a quick peek. No, let's continue here and then we'll go back. Okay, length in the format. I mentioned that we have a 2-hour time slot. The test is about 1.5 times the length of a typical test, but everybody can start a little bit early at 12:30. The test does include a few multiple choice true-false problems, so it's going to look a tiny bit different than our previous ones, so just putting it out there not to be surprised when the first page has some multiple choice problems on it. The bulk of the test, it will look exactly like the test that we've taken this semester, where you have to show your work and give me all the details. All right, so resources you can use. Your calculator the whole time, but not a graphing calculator. I can provide calculators on the day of the test. You can use your perfect powers table during the final exam, and then this is the part that I think we mentioned the other day. To much critical acclaim, you can bring in a piece of paper with anything that you want written on it. Yes, lyrics to your favorite song. It'll keep you motivated during the test. Perfect. Okay, so anything you want, you bring on one standard piece of paper, front and back. Yes? You can print, yeah. But what I don't want is for one person to make it and then have 18 copies of that same thing. I want you to each make your own thing. I think there's a lot to be gained by making a good study sheet. No, the notes you'll take back with you. I don't need to see it. It's not in any kind of order. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? General questions right now? Tenzin? The perfect powers table is on Moodle. It's the first page of packet 2, which is up on Moodle. There's no vocabulary per se, no. Other questions? You say we can put definitions. You can put definitions down, yeah. Okay, in terms of resources as you prepare for this cumulative final exam, you've got study guides for 2 tests, together with all those practice problems and YouTube videos. You have study guides for 4 quests, along with the YouTube videos. And if you go back actually just a couple of pages, you'll find a study guide that you probably haven't filled out. But if you go back to page 90, then right here in the middle are the practice problems for Quest 5. Quest 5 was canceled, but I had already had the problems prepared and printed for you guys, so they're there, so use them. There are videos on YouTube of me going through all of them. So as you study for the the last parts of this material, know that this is here as a resource as well. Ben?
Are there YouTube videos going over the Quest problems?
I don't have any videos going over the Quest problems, just the practice ones. Speaking of the quests, 15 of you had asked if I would make copies of the old quests and tests, blank ones, so that you could practice. They're all here. So at some point during class, not all at once, just come over and take one from each stack if you wanted one, okay? Any other questions before we just do our own reviews in our little groups for the period? Okay, last thing. There are 2 photocopies that are on your tables. Make sure you grab one of each. The one of them, which is kind of in, it's just 2 pages. One of them is kind of thick and the other one is kind of thin. The thin one are practice exams that Peter Rosnick, who taught here for many years and is now the dean here, he gave his students, so I'm giving them to you. On the back you will find an answer key. The other one is a thicker review. It is many more practice problems, and if you hunt around towards the end of it, you will also find an answer key. Now, I passed these things out. Look, how can I say this? I have not looked in detail at all of these problems. I was shown these problems yesterday. So I'm handing them out, but if there's a problem in here that really looks completely foreign, then perhaps it's not something we covered and you don't need to worry about it. I'm also not guaranteeing that every topic that you need to worry about is in here somewhere. I haven't looked at these really. Just giving it to you. It's an additional resource. It's got answer key, so hopefully it'll be helpful. I don't have any videos for these things. Everybody has both? Okay, so lots of practice problems in the packets, lots of practice problems I just handed out. There are the quests and tests sitting over there, blank copies of it. So find something to work on, find somebody who wants to work on the same thing, see how far you can get. Raise a flag if I can help.